And welcome to another live stream watch along reaction. This afternoon, we're watching and reacting to Defense Force FC versus Cibao FC 2025 CONCACAF Caribbean Cup third place match. First leg live stream watch along reaction. The first leg of the third place match, we start with that. Then, of course, we do the first leg of the final. As soon as this is over, we run into the final. So it'll take a little bit for me to put that on Rumble, but I'll be here for the final as well, which is O&M versus Mount Pleasant. And the first leg is in the Dominican Republic. For that tie, Defense Force is playing in Trinidad right now. Hazley Crawford Stadium, yes, where Trinidadian Defense Force is playing. The winner of this tie goes to the CONCACAF Champions Cup. It is all Chelsea. Wait, what? Let's see how this is going. There we go. We up on Rumble, okay. Chelsea is beating Barcelona. Oh, Barcelona's down a man. Okay, that totally makes sense. Araujo off, red card. Jules Koundé with an own goal. I'm just glad we're leading. Okay. We'll take it. Created by Neto. Okay. How we doing, Henry? We'll keep an eye on that. Thank you very much. All right. But Defense Force FC contra Cibao FC in La Copa Caribena. Copa Caribena de la CONCACAF. Tres puesto partido ida. Defense Force local. Cibao visitar. The winner, ganador, avanzar de la Copa Campeones de la CONCACAF. The winner of this third place game next week, of course, we'll know who wins the aggregate. That's what matters. The winner of it goes to the Champions Cup. There's, what, 3 spots left in the CONCACAF Champions Cup to be filled? Wait, no, 2, actually. 2. Because no matter what, the finalists both have a spot. Only just the winners of these 2 tournaments get promoted to the round of 16. So it's the MLS Cup champion, because it could still be NYCFC, and the Caribbean Cup third place team. Those are the 2 spots that are left to be filled. And if a team who is still in the tournament is left, and good news, this both CONCACAF Caribbean Cup games are on FS2 this week. So, just so you know. By the way, this is pretty good. It is a little bit creamier, but I've been looking forward to trying it. It's pretty good. That's the next match. That's the next match, but we'll be live for that as well. But you could warm up by watching your third place match. How we doing, Marcel? Up the Chelsea. I cannot believe we're winning, but I won't complain. Starting 11s are as follows. That's better. In goal for Defense Force, we got Williams. The back 4 of Araujo, Wilson, Francois, Felix, and Bailey. The midfield 2 is Sheldon Bateau and Sadu. We have the midfield 3, attacking midfield 3 of Thomas, Kahim Thomas, Kevin Molino, Garcia, and up top we have Bertrand. The back, or for Cibao, we have Miguel Lloyd. We have the back 4 of Peguero, Murillo, Mosquera, Reyes. The midfield 2 of De La Cruz and Modesta. The midfield attacking 3 of Roches, Alarcon, Ventura, and up top Rivaldo Correa. If only the Jamaican national team could have qualified to the World Cup automatically. At least you still have a playoff. And even though I don't think Rudolph Speed has the best intentions with the Jamaican Federation, he's still probably a better coach than Steve McLaren. So, am I more in the camp of a Craig Butler? Yes. Do I think Rudolph Speed has the best intentions of the JFF in mind? No. Do I think he finally got his chance to coach the team and he took it? Yeah. Without really even looking at anybody else. I wonder if that Herdman rumor was true. I wonder. Either way, I wonder if that rumor about Drone Boy coaching Jamaica was true. I didn't think he was that desperate. Either way. Big up score prediction. Cibao 2-0. I would love to see Defense Force win and Lightning strike twice. I don't think I do. Oh, you're the Cavalier fan. Oh, okay. Oh, you're the Cavalier fan. Okay. Yeah, this like new show people's ats instead of their display name on chat is screwing me up horribly. You're the Cavalier fan. Okay. Cibao is Cibao, though. Hey, I hope you're right, though. I hope Defense Force wins at home. Makes things easier next week. I didn't say they were easy. I just said it made it easier. But I hope you're right. Cibao's Cibao, though. And by the way, didn't y'all get pumped 5-1 at home by Mount Pleasant? By the way, didn't you? So what does that have to do with anything? Yeah, you lost 5-1 at home to Mount Pleasant. It's not like Defense Force is an amazing home team. Let's see. Home results for Defense Force. Juventus de Cais, 1-0 win. 1-1 draw against Weymouth Wales. So a win, draw, and loss at home. Yeah, they're better. Don't let the fact that Cibao's in the third place game fool you. They're better. I blame the fact that Cibao was playing a team from their same league, same country in the semifinal. Because for some reason, that's the toughest games. Those are the toughest games, weirdly enough. When you're playing a team from your country in the final or a semifinal or in a meaningful tie, those are the toughest games because they know you way too well. I know, and I hope Defense Force makes it. I'd be happier to see that. I'd be happy to see them make it. Do I think they will, though? You got to prove me. No, I don't. You got to prove me wrong. But that's the reason they play the games. If football worked on our assumptions, I wouldn't get a prediction wrong. If football was played on paper, I'd be a very bored man. There's a reason they play the games. We all have our assumptions. We all have our predictions. They roll the ball out, then you see what happens. Exactly. I mean, look at the O&M tie. I thought Cibao would win that. I thought this was Cibao's year, especially after Cavalier went and just looked horrible this season. And then O&M went and played Cibao and won over 2 legs. Probably helpfully that they both play in the same country and they know each other way too well. Like, I would hate to play. Like, I would hate to play a team from the same league or country. I guess league when it comes to Canadian teams. In a knockout tournament because you know each other way too well. Starting 11, Williams, Felix, Francois, Bateau, Garcia, Araujo, Wilson, Molino, Sadu, Thomas, Bertrand, and Bailey for Defense Force. Because for some reason, when you play a team from the same league, that just, you throw everything out. Well, yeah, that's not exactly what I was talking about. I was talking about the semifinal. That was their first team. They lost because they were playing a team from their country. Lavelde from Suriname is the center ref tonight. It's all Surinamese or a 3-referee Surinamese, 1 St. Kitts referee for the referee crew. And we'll see what VAR looks like. Probably a Mexican and a Canadian or something, I bet. Or an American and Mexican doing VAR. I'm sure. But 90 minutes here, and then the final is right after. We'll be live for both. Yes, there's VAR. There's been VAR the whole knockout stage. I think Central American Cups had VAR the whole time, but for the Caribbean Cup, there's been VAR for the knockout stage. Starting 11 for Cibao, Lloyd, Reyes, Murillo, Mosquera, Peguero, De La Cruz, Alarcon, Modesta, Roches, Correa, Ventura. Here we go. Third place, here we go. The finals stretch begins. Here we go. Over the top. Well, no, there'll still be tournaments given out during winter, but yeah, I'm gonna miss this, you know. Not next year because we still have it next year this way, but I'm gonna miss December being the month of all the trophies being decided, you know. Like Caribbean Cup, Central American Cup, MLS Cup, Intercontinental Cup. I know they'll still give at least 3 of those out in December, and frankly, again, I'm not too sure how I'm going to run my RSR seasons. Like, I don't know if I'm just going to go straight on, because next year's RSR 8, that's a normal season. But I don't know what I'm going to do, like, after Christmas of 2026. I don't know if I'm going to go straight into RSR 9 or then, like, from like January to July, I have RSR 8.5, and then August is RSR 9, and that goes till next June, you know? or June after, because of how MLS is flipping the calendar. Like, the thing was always because I feel like when it comes to an MLS season, it would be stupid to like cut the RSR season halfway during the winter break and then like the second half and the first half of the next seasons in one season. That would just be stupid. So I think what I'm going to do, here's my thought. When MLS flips the calendar, when they do the sprint season in spring of 2027, that'll be RSR 8.5. So you have RSR 7 this year. That finishes. Next year's RSR 8. Then that sprint season and the summer tournament corner in 2027, which would be a Gold Cup. So, yeah, we'll go with that. Really? Are you kidding me? Defense Force. Am I that behind us on FS2? Are you kidding me? Corner for Defense Force. Ball crossed in. Header in. Goal. Defense Force scores. It's 1-0 for Defense Force. Wow. The goal for Sheldon Bateau. Off the header. That was an amazing header, too. Jeez. Sheldon Bateau scores the goal. 1-0. Okay. Oh, okay. I was behind. Thank you. I was a little bit behind. Okay. Sheldon Bateau with a header. Perfect cross. And it's 1-0 for Defense Force. 1-0 Defense Force. That was a well-played goal. That was a well-played goal. Header to the far post by Sheldon Bateau. Defense Force leads the third place match already. Okay, calm down. It's only the 4th minute. Calm down. Calm down. You still have 176 minutes to play. Calm down. Calm down. You still have 176 minutes left to play in this tie. Calm down. Calm down. Good goal, but calm down. And I was behind. Thanks, YouTube TV. I don't know how. I just turned on this TV. How did I get behind in 5 minutes? Or, well, 20 on the same channel. Normally that doesn't happen unless I'm like watching a channel for like 4 or 5 hours. Jesus Christ. I don't know. Either way. If it was Tubi, I'd understand, because Tubi is just weird. Either way, 5 minutes in. Defense Force leads 1-0. 1-0. Speaking of, let's see if they've put out where the MLS matches are going to be. They're both on Saturday. Okay. So, both MLS playoff matches, conference finals are on Saturday. I guess they need a full week before the final because the cup final's on a Saturday as well. Okay. Well, I didn't really want to watch Survivor Series anyway. I just hope John Cena don't drop the IC title then, but at least I saw him win it. I'll watch December 13th, so that's all good. Either way, 6 minutes in. So we have Miami. So here's what I'm going to do. playing forward. I will cover the Libertadores final on Saturday, but I think I'll put that into a double with the Miami NYCFC game. And then we'll do San Diego, Vancouver on its own, and then review San Diego, Vancouver. So 2 labs, 1 RSR, but one of the labs is a double. Yeah, we could do that. Okay. So that's what we'll do. So that means the only thing on Sunday is the Formula One Qatar Grand Prix. Okay. So the only thing I'm live for on Sunday is the Formula One Qatar Grand Prix then. That's out for a goal kick. Or no, throw in. Yeah, I would think so. Okay. 2-0 Chelsea. Let's go. Esteval scores for Chelsea. He's good. Esteval's really good. Dude's amazing. So basically, on Saturday, we'll have 2 streams, 1 review, but one of our streams will be a double. We'll have the Copa Libertadores final, Flamengo Palmeiras, with a double with Miami and NYCFC. So we start streaming at 3 p.m., 2:55 for the Copa final, and I'll be wearing the Brazil shirt. Miami and NYCFC, we'll watch that game in that same stream, and then we'll stream San Diego, Vancouver on its own, and then we'll review San Diego, Vancouver on Saturday. Sunday morning, we have the Formula One Qatar Grand Prix, which is at 10 a.m., so it's not as bad. It's not as it's not like it's 7 a.m. the next day. Yeah, I mean, he's been doing that for a while. Frankly, that's where he should be now because of how injury prone he is. Headed away, Cibao, that gets kicked out for a corner for Cibao 10 minutes in. Are you watching the Chelsea game? No. I'm being told the score and watching the score on FOTMob because we have to watch this CONCACAF game. So, with a lot of USL Championship players, Trinidad out of contract, if Defense Force makes the Champs Cup, they would join them. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome if they did that for at least 6 months. And then join USL Championship teams for the summer. Or MLS teams if they wowed them. Header saved. But also, yeah, Rory's been telling me what's going on. Speaking of, and Mississippi State plays on Friday morning, so yeah, no. Well, normally college games don't get played on Sunday anyway, even during rivalry week. This week, the Patriots play on Monday night. Son of a... Well... Yeah, no, I'm just going to be live for the Formula One Grand Prix on Sunday then. Considering there's 2 MLS, both MLS playoff conference finals are on Saturday, and the Libertadores final. 3 minutes in for Sheldon Bateau was the goal, 1-0, 1-0. Bills Steelers doesn't look too bad, but if it was, I'd rather do it if it was Sunday Night Football. The Patriots are playing on Monday night. I was like, hey, maybe the Patriots are playing on Sunday. No. But Thanksgiving Day football. Lions, Packers, Cowboys, Chiefs, Bengals, Ravens. I agree. If there's anything that Defense Force always has had is Kevin Molino, or I should say at least in this run. Kevin Molino's still a damn good player. And I understand why he retired from international football. But Kevin Molino still got it. Like, I never questioned his ability. Like, watching him play recently over the past couple of years, I still haven't questioned it. I haven't questioned his ability. I never would. Kevin Molino's an OG, but he's amazing. He's still amazing. He's still got some talent. He could still play in MLS if he wanted to, or USL, but I don't think he would. I think he's at Defense Force to retire, finish out his career. Because in North America, or I should say Central America, Caribbean, South America, Mexico, you always go back to your boyhood club to retire. MLS, it's not. Well, Pulisic doesn't have one. Landon Donovan went back to the Galaxy, but then again, he also played for the Earthquakes. So you might just go anywhere in MLS after you leave Europe to retire. But are you surprised Chelsea are playing this good? I'm surprised they're winning 2-0 over Barcelona, even though they're up a man. Well, right now you're losing. Right now Cibao's losing. What's with Barcelona always getting owned by Chelsea? Karma. Karma is a BITC, you know what. Karma is a BITC, you know what. Hey, they cheated Chelsea once. Guess what? Barcelona will never beat Chelsea again, and that's karma. And that's karma. They robbed Chelsea once. They'll never beat them again. It's called karma. It's called karma. And it's a beautiful thing. .15th minute. You have to win the tie to go to the CONCACAF Champions Cup, BKL. There's no saving grace for y'all. If you lose the tie, you're not going to the Champions Cup. You have to win the tie. Right now, 15 minutes in, you're losing the tie 1-0. Now, I'm sure that's going to change over the next 165 minutes or whatever, but I'm sure that could change. Look good for Defense Force right now. Sure. They've been the better team. They still got to play for another 165 minutes and hold on for dear life. But yeah, tomorrow on stream, I'll show you my NFL pick sheet for this week, considering there's going to be a game at midday. If it's tied on aggregate, they go to extra time. And then if it's tied at extra time, they go to penalties. So then you'd have to play more than 180 minutes. You play 210, then possibly a shootout. So tomorrow on stream, I will show my NFL pick sheet for this week because There are 3 games on Thanksgiving Day, and that first game starts at 12. I'm not live on Thursday anyway. I'm only making a prediction video. So I will show my pick sheet tomorrow for this week, because that just makes sense. 3 games on Thursday, 1 on Friday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 on Sunday, 1 on Monday. Oh, everybody's playing this week. MLS Cup predictions. On Thanksgiving Day evening, there will be an MLS Cup conference final prediction video. Because I couldn't do it on Monday because of they played a game on Monday. And then I couldn't do it today because there's a game today. And I couldn't do it Wednesday because, well, there's 2 games today. And there's a game on Wednesday. So it has to be Thursday. And the Egg Bowl's on Friday. So I always show the pick sheet. Either way. Awesome. Played in header. So playing forward. 1-0, 1-0. Defense force looks like the better team. Last week I got 8 out of 14. 8-5. Eight and 6. Normally 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games right, somewhere around there. I think I've only ever had like 1 week where I've gotten every game right. And it was one of those weeks where it was like 13 games. It's like a couple of years ago. I got to look back. Playing forward. Cibao playing forward. Somebody make that up. Okay, yeah, they just made that up. 20th minute. Do you think the Bears will have a chance to win the Super Bowl? No. No. But Bears are a playoff team, I would agree. Super Bowl, no. I think the Steelers have a better chance to go to the Super Bowl than the Bears. Was that a bit backhanded? Sure, but I call it like I see it. If they beat Philly, I would definitely be a little bit more hopeful for the Bears. Beating the Steelers don't mean shit. But you said the Steelers have a better chance of winning the Super Bowl. That's only really because of Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf, you know? If there's anybody who could just bullshit the Steelers to a Super Bowl, it's them two. Because it certainly wouldn't be because they're the best team. It would be complete bullshit, but not that I'd complain. And certainly not, certainly somebody else wouldn't complain if they bullshitted their way to a Super Bowl. But I know exactly what it'll be. Be fun to watch. Be fun to watch, but they definitely wouldn't be the best team. They'd bullshit their way there, but you know. I'm sure the Steelers have some devil magic left. I'm sure they do. I'm sure. 23rd minute. Goal kick for Cibao, or goal kick for Defense Force. But yeah, if the Bears win on Friday, yeah, no, I think that shows they actually have a chance. I mean, the Eagles are beatable, though, but that's more because their offense is just not good enough this year. Their offense is it's just not good enough. That's really the only reason why. I mean, Philly's defense is still pretty good. But if you could outgun their offense, I think that's sadly their Achilles heel. I think their offense is just not good enough, and it's not consistently good enough. Like when they put 21 points on the Dallas Cowboys, that looked more like the Philly offense we know. Then they allowed the Cowboys to come back, and the Cowboys won the game. They have to be consistent, and they were not consistent. That was the problem. When the Eagles turn it on, they turn it on when it's needed. They should have kept it turned on. They had it turned on at the first minute of the game last week, and they turned it off halfway through. Should have kept it turned on the whole time. It makes no sense to me. But if the Bears defense can hold them, and the Bears defense, Caleb Williams is as good as they say he is with Ben Johnson, that's a winnable game. I still go with the Eagles. Tie goes to the champions for me, but it's doable. Oh, that's just hilarious. CNBC, the Leafs are valued the most valuable franchise in the NHL, $4.3 billion US. And we're the worst team in the East. Oh, man, why? Why do I do this to myself? Leafs are the most valuable. Here's Defense Force. Here's a chance. Shot! And it's a wide shot. Corner kick for Defense Force. They were so close to scoring a goal there. They maybe should have scored a goal there. Wow. I mean, goalie made a save there. The shot in traffic is the reason why it doesn't go in. That should have been 2. Let's hope Defense Force doesn't regret that one. I believe Habs are top 3. By valuation, yes, they are. They're 3rd. Good job. It's the Leafs, Rangers, Habs, Kings, and Oilers. The one that surprises me the most is the LA Kings. I'm not going to lie. Ball down. Here's a chance. Shot for Defense Force. That goes wide for another corner. Wait, nope, goal kick. And Defense Force thinks that might have been a foul. Understandable. But if it was, they'll check it on VAR. I'm honestly surprised the LA Kings are 4th. Like, I would not have picked them as one of the top 5 value teams in the NHL. I would not. Yeah. I would agree with that. Like, well, Edmonton, understand, I believe that Edmonton is top 5. I'm not saying it is, this is true numbers, but like, I would have picked Edmonton the top 5, the Habs, the Rangers, the Leafs. That would make sense. I would have said Vegas would have been in the top 5. Like, that's where I would have went. LA Kings, that's just, I know they've won cups before. They had a little mini dynasty back in the early 2010s. I would have went with the Vegas Golden Knights, in my opinion. That's where I would have went with it. Or, well, no, not Ottawa. I wouldn't have went with Ottawa. Vancouver, maybe? Like, if I had to guess, I would have went Vegas or Ottawa or Vancouver. 3-0 Chelsea. Let's go. Liam Delap scored. 75th minute. 3-0 Chelsea. Let's go. I got to look at the table. Let's see where we are. Match number 5, their top 4. Is Chelsea playing like it's PSG? I guess they are, from what I can tell. Chelsea's in the top 5 of the Champions League phase. Locals are mid. Yeah, the locals aren't as good as Molino or Bateau. I'll agree with that right now. The local players just, oh my God. In through and he missed. Yep, no. Sean Bateau played a through ball. They missed. The locals are garbage. Yeah, no. This one deserves it. Hat flick. My God. That was... I don't think I would have missed that. Oh, my God. That is a hat flick. That is a hat flick. It won't be on the review, but that is a hat flick. Even if we make the Champions Cup, we could see 8-0 scoreline versus Defense Force. Oh, Lord. That was horrible. That was horrible, too. Better. I'm good. I'm good. Corner for Cibao. Cleared away by Defense Force. Playing forward. Here's Defense Force. That's out for a throw in. 32nd minute. And that's a foul, and players are just falling on the pitch like freaking, I don't even know. Man, Defense Force, they should have scored multiple times. They're going to regret that, not scoring, even if they win today. You heard it here first. Bills time, Brandon Cooks. That's interesting. Yeah, Josh Allen needs some help. I don't know if Brandon Cooks in 2025 is help, but you know what? Okay. I mean, God love him. I liked Brandon Cooks on the Patriots. I thought he was good then. It's 2025. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's something. Something, nothing, or everything. Brandon Cooks to the Buffalo Bills. I mean, it's something, but it is in 2018. Playing forward, saved. It'd be everything if it was 2018. Like when he played for the Patriots. They won a Super Bowl with him, so it had to be, or at least played in the Super Bowl with him. Yeah, Brandon Cooks was the one who got his block knocked off in the Eagles Super Bowl. Yeah, that was him, right? Yeah. It's out for a throw. Yeah, you know what? Son's right. These local players are shit. Jesus. Jesus. Like, you have two amazing cornerstones on Defense Force who could probably still play in MLS or USL Championship, and then the local players are just... Okay. Yeah, he's right. These local players are garbage. They could be... Like, seriously, Defense Force could be up like 3-0 right now and not even worried about losing this tie. Or, well, I would still have a thought that it could be bad if they, whatever. VAR check? VAR check? Yes, it's a VAR check. Let's see for what? And who's... I'm guessing a red card. I'm guessing a red card. I'm guessing a red card. Oh, this could be a penalty. It's a possible penalty for defense force. Not a red card. It's a possible penalty. He kept the ball in, so that's the first part. The tackle was outside the field of play. He was past the end line. I'm not going to speak. I'm not going to speak on this. Whatever I think is wrong, I have not seen some like this. He got tackled outside. A foot was inside the box for the Cibao player. I'm just going to see what they call. I can't even disagree. No matter what they call. And the VAR call is penalty for defense force. I can't disagree. You better score. All I know is y'all better damn score. That's a gift. Whether it's right or wrong, that's a gift. You better score. You better score. Penalty for defense force. Penalty para defense force. Molino taking it? Yeah, you'll probably score. Kevin Molino taking the penalty to make it 2-0 for defense force. Kevin Molino, the MLS legend, still got it. The old dog. The old dog trying to put his team up. Kevin Molino to make it 2-0. Bateau with a header made it 1. They should be up 3-0 by now, but it'd be better if Molino scored, and he does not. Saved by Cibao. A save by Lloyd. Miguel Lloyd makes the save. Awful penalty. Referee is saying he's going to VAR. He's going to VAR for a retake. Keeper might have taken his feet off the line. And there's going to be a retake. Lloyd's feet were not on the line when the penalty was taken. There is a retake for Kevin Molino. Retake. The feet off the line before the penalty was struck for Lloyd. There's a retake. Maybe that's why he missed. I mean, it was an awful penalty, but was awful. A second shot for Kevin Molino. Retake of the penalty for defense force. A second shot for Molino. Don't miss this time, dear God. And he scores this time. Top bins. 2-0 defense force. 2-0 esta noche. Kevin Molino top bins. 2-0. Easy as you like. Top corner goal. Top Ched. Top bins. Boom. Perfect shot. Runs up and boom. There you go. 2-0. 2-0. Defense force. Kevin Molino scores in the 41st minute for defense force. Oh, He slipped on his ass. And there's a foul, free kick for Cibao. Yellow card. That was a pretty tough tackle. Yellow card, probably fittingly. Let's see, we got 89th minute, Chelsea winning 3-0. Woo! Lovely, lovely, lovely. You love it. Defense Force leads 2-0. Well, yeah, today is Tuesday. Kane Thomas. Yellow card, 43rd minute. Champs Cup loading. Again, you have 100. So 90. 100, 10, 20, 30, 135, 138 minutes and change to play. $135 minutes is 1 game and a half. Yeah. 135 minutes plus change. Over the bar. 136 minutes to play and change before you can say that. Again, calm down. You're only you're 1 quarter through this tie. St. Hilaire on for Bailey. You're a quarter through the tie. After the end of this game, you'll be halfway through the tie. Halftime is 3/4. Full time is it's over. I wouldn't even start talking shit till 3/4, but that's just me. Frankly, if they had the aggregate lead, if Defense Force has the aggregate lead through 3/4 through the tie, halftime of the second leg, then you could start talking shit. You're really just willing them to screw this up, aren't you? 2-0, 2-0, Defense Force, líder de partido ida de la Copa Caribeña de la CONCACAF. Good. I commented on it. I still want to try that brookie pie from Crumble because I'm a fan of brookies, that being cookie and brownie together. For those who are uninitiated. Sounds like it's a little bit of a letdown. At least that's what Isaiah said. And it's 7 minutes of stoppage time. Okay. It's a little bit. That's what he said. And the whipped cream carried it, but people could have different thoughts about stuff. So cookies and cream look pretty good too. But Oreo's Oreo. So do that what you will. Good. On like what, 60-something views? 2-0, 7 minutos para tiempo extra. Here comes Defense Force. Defense Force with a chance. Cross it across goal and nobody. Well, actually, playing forward. Shot blocked away. And that's going to be a free kick the other way. Well, that was a bad angle. That was a bad angle, to be clear. I'll defend him there. It should probably be 4-0 from those 2 other chances earlier that were bad misses, but that was a bad angle. That was a really bad angle. Let's be fair. Let's be absolutely fair. That was a bad angle. Oh. Goes down like a sack of potatoes. 2 minutes in. 2 minutos de la tiempo está. 5 minutos. Two 0, 2-0. I mean, that was a bad angle. I mean, if you get one, awesome. If you get a goal off that, awesome. If you don't, I couldn't be too mad. Ooh. Damn. This is a cold quote. Joe Burrow on playing on Thanksgiving. You grow up going through Thanksgiving, you have your meals, you sit on the couch, you watch the Lions versus somebody. Watch Matthew Stafford throw 300 to 400 yards with Calvin Johnson and probably lose the game. Ooh. It's full time. Chelsea wins 3-0. Well, that's good. Yeah, but you still have 45 minutes to score a third goal. Frankly, you should be up 4-0 already. That should have been 5. Let's be real. They ain't making it easy on themselves. Who expected that, though? Who expected that, though? $45 plus 4. Shot saved. $45 plus 5, throw in for Cibao. I mean, Defense Force are winning. I'd say they're playing well. Well, they've played well, but the chances. They've gotten the ball into the box. They've led up to getting a good chance, but they haven't scored most of their chances. But Defense Force are the better team tonight so far. And that's going to be wide. Rivaldo Correa puts it wide. And that was Cibao's first best chance of the game, and he puts it wide. Got to get used to that. Boom. Off the ad board. I don't know if Cibao's giving it their all, though. Which is crazy considering you still could go to the Champions Cup, you know? Like, yeah, third place is kind of an insult, but you still get prize money for going to the Champions Cup, so why aren't they not? They don't seem to really be giving it their all. Like, if Cibao was running at 100%, it is an away match, this is true, but if they were running at 100%, it'd be closer than 2-0. And frankly, it should be, again, Defense Force should have more goals than 2. Whether you're talking about the bad angle on the last big chance or the 2 big chances they missed before the penalty. So, you know, I'm a little bit shocked what I'm seeing. I gotta think Cibao's kind of sandbagging this shit. I gotta think they're kind of sandbagging this shit. They have to be, right? They have to be. They have to be. I'm not saying Defense Force is crap, but when did I say anything over the bar? Oh, okay. Advantage played. Here comes Defense Force. Is he onside? Is he onside? And he shoots it right at the keeper. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Halftime. What the hell? That was awful. What the hell are the Cibao players mad at? What the hell were the Cibao players mad at? It's halftime, 2-0, 2-0. Awful. Awful. He shot that right at the keeper. Onside. Well, I don't know if he was onside, but ball run at the keeper. That's like 5. Oh, my God. You know, I'm going to be real. Defense Force should have won this damn tie already. What the hell? You add 2 goals to the 4 that they should have scored. That's 6-0. They should have won this tie already. What the hell? I'm going to be real. This should be over already in 45 minutes. Yeah, no, it's about sandbagging this shit. With that being said, we're going to take a short break, talk about the stats, get this one going. Sit tight. It's 2-0, 2-0. And luckily for Cibao, it is only 2-0. Luckily for them, this tie isn't over yet, when it probably should be. Sit tight, be back. Short break. 2-0, 2-0. With that being said, we're back for the stats of the half. Yes, I think Chelsea is back. They were back when they won the Club World Cup. But at least they're not just Club World Cup merchants. They're winning other games. So, they're back. With that being said, stats of the half. We have 37% possession to 62% possession. We have 6 interception to 2, 0 offside to 0, 2 corners 1 to 3, 130 pass to 213. We have 74% pass accuracy to 85. We have 4 cross to 15. We have 2 shots or 2 goals to 0, 9 shots to 11, 4 shots on goal to 6. We have 4 tackles to 5, 21 clearances to 6, 5 fouls to 5, 1 yellow card to 1, 0 red cards to 0, 2-0 at the half, 2-0, medio tiempo. For me, I think Defense Force is the better team. I really think Cibao is sandbagging it. I don't exactly think they're playing their best football. I don't think Cibao wants to be in this third place match. I think they're insulted by playing a third place match, even though it will get them straight to Champions Cup if they were to win. I don't like what I'm watching. If I'm a Cibao fan, I'm pissed. Because if any more of those Defense Force chances that should have been goals, those 4 chances that they missed in the first half that should have went in, that should have been a goal, anybody with more quality, if those balls were at Kevin Molino's feet, those would have been goals, is my point. If any of those 4 goals go in, if not half of them, the game's over already. I don't care if it's about. The tie's over. If they score all 4 of the goals they should have scored, plus the 2 they did, the tie's over already. Cibao could have lost this tie in 45 minutes. And Defense Force, if they lose this tie, they're going to be kicking themselves in their own ass. Because they could have won this tie in 45 minutes. And frankly, they did. Well, frankly, it's not like it was like you could question that they did. No, they did. If that ball crosses the line, 2, 3, the 4 chances they had that they missed, if the ball crosses the line on 2, if not all of those chances, they're winning this tie already. The tie's over. It should be over by now. Defense Force have been the better team. Defense Force have been the better team tonight. And they should have ended this tie within 4 hours. Not 4 hours. The first leg, 45 minutes. They should have ended this tie through the first 45 minutes, and they didn't. And they're going to regret that they didn't. Because the third place game for the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup was supposed to be played at 3 o'clock Central, which it's 3 o'clock for you now. I don't like it, but at least I didn't oversleep. How about that? I absolutely played it perfectly. I can't believe I did. I guess when my body knows when I actually need to be up, I'm up. Even if I thought in the bed that I'm in now, I sleep like a baby. No, I found ways. Either way, I found ways to be up when I need to be. It's like, I need to be up at 2 for a game at 3. It's like, okay. It all worked out, is my point. It all worked out. We got to do it again next week. No. No, I'm not. I've already got 2 streams, 1 double, and then the later conference final on Saturday. We're doing the Formula 1 Grand Prix on Sunday. So, no. And the Egg Bowl Friday morning. So if they played Friday morning, which I would not expect that because they're both playing Champions League, no. Next week we have the MLS Cup at 1 on Saturday, 1:30. And then we have the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix at 6 in the morning. No, 7 in the morning on Sunday next week. So, no. Only if it's Friday morning / afternoon next week I will, but I don't think it is. Copa Libertadores final, yeah, that's part of the double. Good job. Yeah, that's part of the double stream. Good job. We'll start a double stream with the Copa Libertadores at 3 p.m. Saturday into Miami versus NYCFC. They'll be their own double stream, and then after the Miami game's over, we'll be live for the Vancouver-San Diego game, and then that's the game we'll review on Saturday evening. Good job. Copa Libertadores final. Yes, that's exactly what I was planning on doing a double with. Yes, thank you very much. Good job. Good job. Here's a cookie. Here's a virtual cookie for you. Good job. And we're off. Second half, and we will begin. Hopefully hopefully Defense Force doesn't blow this. And here we go. Here we go, and that ball's out for a throw-in for Cibao. I reckon Palmeiras will win with ease, but I don't know. I got Flamengo winning, in my opinion. I got Flamengo. I think Flamengo is the better side. I think of the two, they have the more talent on their team. It's going to be a dogfight. But then again, as I said, when you play a team from the same country and you know each other way too well, anything can happen. I'd probably want Palmeiras to win for Cruz Azul's sake, because we'll also be live for that Derby of the Americas on December 10th or whatever it is. It's not far away, to be clear. I think Palmeiras winning would be better for Cruz Azul. I think Flamengo would be a harder match for Cruz Azul. Looking at it from a rooting for CONCACAF perspective, I think Palmeiras should be an easier match for Cruz Azul. But I think Flamengo wins. It's closer than you think, I would say. But again, when you play a team you know way too well, ask Cibao how bad that could blow up in your face, even if you think you're the favorite. Or just ask Mississippi State and Ole Miss. The Egg Bowl's the thing. Egg Bowl bullshit's a thing. Especially with big rivalries. Do you think Defense Force could win this game? I mean, right now they're winning 2-0. They should be winning 6-0. Defense Force had 4 big chances that they should have scored. That anybody who was better than some of these local players, if that ball was at their feet, they would have scored. Defense Force should be winning 4-0 at the very least, if not 6-0. They should be winning this tie right now. This tie should be over. This tie should have been over by halftime. And Sun can attest to that as well, because well, I don't know if you're just asking questions if you've been watching, but if you've been watching, this tie should be over already. It should have been over by the half. Defense Force should have been leading 4-0 to 6-0, somewhere in there instead of 2. But yes, I think they're the better team tonight, whether that's because they've had better chances than Cibao, They should be scoring more goals. Cibao seems to be sandbagging this game. I think 2-0 is a very tough result to I wouldn't say overturn, but to hold on and win going to the Dominican Republic next week. I think Defense Force needs a goal or two more. If they really want to win this tie, they need to win this game 3-0, 4-0, 4-1 maybe, if they want to hold on to their aggregate lead next week. Going to the DR is going to be tough for Defense Force. And I think they've really pissed away some golden chances to win this tie and have it over with already. So I'm sure Cibao will play better at their own stadium. Free kick for Cibao. I'm sure they'll play better at their own stadium. Will you stream the World Cup draw? Yes, I will. I'll be live for the World Cup draw. Duh, why wouldn't I be? Well, yeah, okay, that could work. Either way, shot, saved. Playing forward. Shot blocked away, cleared. But yeah, Defense Force needs a goal or two more to feel comfortable next week going to the Dominican Republic. Shot blocked away, good defensive play, but now Cibao are starting to wake up a little bit. Header. Playing forward. 2-0, Dos Acero. Defense Force, I think, have been the better team through the first 45 minutes. They should have scored more goals, though. I think they really might just give themselves an opportunity to look at themselves and kick themselves in the ass if this doesn't go their way. Such is life, though. Playing forward. Defense Force has the ball. Molino. Corner. Kevin Molino thought he had some magic there, and he almost did. I'm going to be real. Corner kick. It's called a watch-along. If I show the game, I get a copyright strike. This is more like radio. Ball crossed in. Headed away. In the Caribbean, it's on ESPN Plus and Disney and all that. Molino running the show right now, but people get mad when I say locals aren't good. How's the 35-year-old Molino better than everybody else? Well, Kevin Molino could still be playing in MLS if he wanted to, or the USL Championship. He's a talented player. He has always been a more talented player. The dude played for years in MLS and was a solid player. It's either he got the chance or he deserved the chance. It's either or. Kevin Molino has always been, in my book, an amazing player. I've always been happy to watch him play the game of football. right? What about the match? It's 2-0. 2-0 Defense Force. Defense Force lead Ed. Defense Force leads the match 52 minutes in, 53 minutes in. They should be winning by more. Defense Force over to bar. Header wide. Be a goal kick. But again, I've always been a fan of watching Kevin Molino play the game of football. Do you think both teams will score? Cibao's got to score at some point, right? They gotta. They have to. I'd be shocked if they didn't. I'd be shocked if they didn't. If this ends up being a clean sheet for Defense Force, I'd be shocked. So at least 3-0, they should win. Vamos Cibao says, somebody in the chat, playing forward. Playing forward. Defense Force. Oh, man. Well, I would hope even with 2-0 they win on the night. 3-0 should be enough to win the tie as long as they get a goal in the Dominican Republic or defend very well. I feel like Cibao is starting to play a bit better, though. I feel like they realize what's at stake. I feel like the first half they were very moody and sandbagging it. And then the coach gave him a talking to, and he's like, what are you doing? You still get prize money if you make the Champions Cup. You don't want to play there in 3 months' time or whatever? Okay. And speaking of, didn't they? No, they played the final. Yeah, it was Real Hope versus Mocha. They played the final against Cavalier and lost. Yeah, okay, yeah. I was like, yeah. There we go. But playing forward. Playing forward. That's going to go out for a throw, 56 minute. Defense Force are holding on, but they should be scoring by more. $57th minute. Oh, yeah, by the way, did everybody see Cristiano Ronaldo got a suspended ban for the World Cup? His 2 other suspended games have been put into a probation period. And if he stays a good boy for a whole year, he could play the first game of the World Cup. I'm not surprised. Cristiano Ronaldo got his banned, suspended, and he can play during the first games of the World Cup. Over the top. I'm surprised FIFA broke their rules just to have Cristiano play World Cup games. Because in my opinion, Barcelona, they have a weakness. It's called high press, high line. High press, extreme high line. If you could get past that high line and break the press and play the ball over the top and have a guy run onto the ball, you're home free. You're home free. Like, I love a high press, but Barcelona's high press, if that thing gets broken, is suicidal. Let's be absolutely real. 59th minute. Sometimes you got to be a little bit more like, hey, this team knows how to play. Like, especially, I'm not saying Chelsea plays the long ball, but either teams know to play the long ball against you. But teams who are better at playing the long ball will make you pay. Like, for example, well, it's not the same, but shit, I can't use that example because they don't anymore. But I'm sure they still have the same players from the era. So if they had to play it, I'm sure. Let's say if a certain pirate was called and coaching TFC, right? And we played an extreme high line. And we're playing Nashville. Nashville SC would be perfect to play the ball over the top and beat our high press because they know how to hoof the ball over the top. The players who were there when Gary Smith was there know how to play the ball over the top and get it to a guy streaking on, and they're home free. And it's goalie versus Sam Surridge. You don't want to do that. You could get away if you're playing a extremely high line. You could get away with playing that against a team like LAFC. They don't know how to hoof the damn ball. And even if they try, they're not going to do well with it because they're going to be scared to do it because you're going to be running at them like rabid dogs. They have to kick the ball down to the freaking other half of the field. They don't know how to do it, is my point. Nashville does, or at least had a coach recently that made them play that way. But those players who were there when they played that way are still there. Hani Mukhtar, Sam Surridge, they know how to play the ball over the top. Long ball, boom. They know. LAFC does not. Miami does not. You could play more of an extreme high line against the Miamis of the world and LAFCs and the Galaxy because they don't know. Then you play a team like Nashville who still has that DNA. You can't play as an extreme of a high line because they'll pop that ball over the top and somebody's going to be on it and they're home free. You can't do it. You can't do it. You got to know the situation. You can't do it. You got to be a little bit more pragmatic there. LAFC, on them like white on rice, rabid dogs. No problem. Miami, on them like rabid dogs. No problem. They ain't going to be able to pop that ball over the top and not quality enough to be home free. Or they might just screw it up and lose the ball in their own box and you score on them. Because they don't know how to hoof the ball. It's a bunch of Argentinians and Spanish players. They don't hoof the ball. Coached by an Argentinian. They don't hoof the ball. It's not the English. They don't hoof the ball. LAFC, same thing. Have you ever seen Denny Bwonga hoof the ball? Have you ever seen Human Son hoof a ball? No, you haven't. Even when he played in England, he still didn't hoof a ball. Even when Jose Mourinho was his coach. God love Jose, but still, either way. Cincinnati, probably could get away with it, I would say. NYCFC, no, you couldn't, actually. NYCFC might have quality players, but they were being coached by Cushing for like 3 years. No, they could hoof a ball. Honestly, I wouldn't play an extreme high press on a baseball field either, but that's just me. That's like a bad idea. That's a bad idea. But either way. Yep. Blessings. 2-0 esta noche. Defense Force ganador or líder de partido. So, again, my point being is this. It depends on who you're playing. If you have an extreme high line, extreme high press, if you're playing a team who's more intricate with a ball, 1-2s, playing quickly, high possession, high octane passes, you get away with high pressing them because they cannot hoof the ball. They do not know how to play one touch over the top. It's different. It's different. When you play a team who knows how to play that way, you cannot be as extreme because they know how to play it over the top instead of be intricate. If a team's first instinct is to be intricate and make a web of passes, absolutely you could just be on them like rabid dogs and have a suicidal high line. You'll probably get away with it more times than not. You play a team who knows how to play the ball over the top and just can hit you with one pass and score, you don't do it. You don't go as high octane on them. It depends on the situation. You can't, it's not one size fits all. If they're more intricate and they're more pass, one touch, 5-meter passes, passing triangles, yeah, run at them like rabid dogs and get the ball and run it down their throat. They're not going to play it over the top. And even when they do, they'll be down 4-0 anyway. Simple. My ideal play style, the reason I say what I said is I would have a very high press, gegenpressing style, but also everybody defends. It's basically the way Morocco defended at the World Cup. If the way Morocco defended at the World Cup and played like rabid dogs had a baby with a gegenpress, that's kind of where I'm at. You know, but everybody defends, everybody, a 4-4, a 4-3-3, but lots of movement on the wings by wing backs and wingers. But again, defensively, you're defending like how Morocco defended if you're off the ball. On the ball, you're running down their throat. So it is a more, at the perfect space, a more suicidal high press. And if Morocco had a better, if you added the gegenpress to Morocco's defense, I feel like that's an absolute killer at my point of other teams, especially with a lot of teams being as intricate as they are. Again, you have to be a little bit more, you have to turn down the volume and the heat on the stove if you're playing a team like Nashville, and that's going to be out for a corner again. But if you're playing at LAFC, Miami, a lot of teams in MLS are very intricate. They're very passing triangles, 5-meter passes, 1-2s, quick passing, webs of passes. That is absolute destruction. If you could keep them in the defensive zone, run at the ball, get the ball back, and run it down their throat, it ain't going to take much. Against most of these teams, it ain't going to take much. They will make mistakes, too many mistakes to live, and thrive against you, so to speak. If you're on them like rabid dogs, they're cooked. There's a lot of these MLS teams that if you're on them like rabid dogs, they are cooked. They are done. They're losing 3-0. Now, of course, you have your Nashvilles where it's like, those are going to be tougher matches, I would say. Nashville will be a tougher match because you'd have to pull back the intensity because you have to expect that if you do run at them. They have the outlet of just popping the ball over the top, and they have the quality, and they remember they've done it before. Even though their current manager is not that guy, BJ Callahan is not a haram ball 4-4-2 English football from 2005 manager. Enough players on that team right now in Nashville have played that system of English haram ball enough to be like, hey, there's a chance over the top. If he runs on the ball, he's onside, and nobody's there because they're on us like Watt on rice and their defensive line's at midfield. I'm going to pop it over the top. Unlike LAFC players, like, should I kick this over the top? My coach has never told me to do that before. What am I supposed to do? They're on me and they're about to get the ball away from me. So it's either going to be a horrible ball over the top that our defense can corral, or they're not going to do it. They're going to lose the ball, and the ball's going to be on the 18-yard line, 18-yard box, and you just run in and shoot it past their keeper because of an idiot mistake, because that's not how they play. Simple. Simple. Exactly. That's fair. That could work too. Yeah, I saw. I don't like it. See, that's the type of tactic I couldn't play. I'm not saying I could figure out how to win, but like the way I want to play, we'd have to be more normal. Like, so to speak. Like, swashbuckling football is how I want to play. I like to call it. It's something I came up with watching the World Cup. My tactics is some I came up with watching the World Cup, knowing I love high pressing, but also the fact of, well, I have the same mad scientist sort of streak that Mike Leach did, and as some sort of like way to process the grief of watching Mississippi State. Of course, I've always was a fan of Mike Leach, even before he was at Mississippi State, but he was coaching my college football team at the time when he passed away. A part of my grief was coming up with a association football version of the air raid, or something so unique that only that it would absolutely, especially at first, just beat everybody. And then, of course, at times you'd have to tailor it to make it a little bit, once people figure things out. But at first, you would just be beating everybody by this shock and surprise of being balls to the wall, defensive, and then getting the ball back close enough to the 18-yard box that at some point you might miss a couple of chances, but basically the tactics I came up with was when I came up with my swashbuckling football, and then it's called swashbuckling football, sort of a nod to, here's a chance for defense force. Oh my God. I think he was offside anyway, but he got fouled. Goal kick. Well, okay, 2-0. So it was more of a nod to the fact of now does it all kind of make sense? But yeah, no, Hatafe B type of team where we'd have to just be real, be more pragmatic, and be normal. And frankly, I don't like being normal. I like being a mad scientist. I like being crazy. I like being a pirate. Wide. I don't like being normal. I don't like being pragmatic. That's not my, but sometimes you have to be. Sheldon Bateau and Kevin Molino. The locals are trash, says Sun. Plays with 4 center backs, so any crosses in his favor. His wing backs are basically midfielders with good technique to toss the ball to their 2 strikers. That's genius. I think we'd also probably lose to Hetafe because we'd have tall center backs, but we'd certainly have Richie Laryea ain't a tall guy, to be clear. Theo Corbian, who I wouldn't say he's taller than Senior. I wouldn't call him tall. Vilson's tall. Kerr, not so much. The funny thing about DeAndre Kerr is he has more of the body type of somebody on the wing, which I wouldn't say he's tall, like super tall. Monlouis, I wouldn't call him tall either. 74th minute. 2-0 Dulcicero. 4 center backs, 2 midfielders as wing backs, double pivot, 2 strikers just praying and finishing their 2 or 3 chances. They scrap wins or tie 0-0. Hey, so that's a way to do it. I don't like it. I wouldn't like playing it either. That's not exactly my thing, but again, you do what works for you. You do what works for you. It's not exactly something I would like to play against, how I'd like to play, but sometimes you have to just do it the way you can. It's not exactly my favorite thing to do. It's not exactly my favorite thing to do, but, what can you do? What can you do? What can you do? 75th minute. But, yeah. Basically, you want the Cliff Notes version of what my tactics would be or what swashbuckling football is. It's Morocco. It's if gegenpressing in Morocco's World Cup 22 play style had a baby. Pretty much. Pretty much. Because I very much loved how, in the moment, I very much love how Morocco played at that World Cup 4 years ago. And I'm sure they'll go back to it somewhat at the next World Cup. I'm sure. But the way Morocco played to get to that semifinal, the way they played was just defensively amazing. But you could tell that they kind of, if they just went a little bit more offensive, it would kind of, or me at least, I could tell if you added a gegenpress to Morocco's defensive type of structure, you'd be unbeatable. Or at least for until people really understood what you were doing, you'd be unbeatable. You would. That's what I started to figure out watching them play. If you had the defensive structure that Morocco did but added a gegenpress to it, you'd be unbeatable. Like that's the next evolution of football in my mind. And I hope nobody takes my idea. I want to be the one to bring that idea in, and then everybody follows me. Yeah. I saw an article that said the Pep Guardiola era is over. What's next? And I'm like, it's going to be the Parrot era. Or at least I'd hope so. I didn't post that. But in my head, I'm like, yeah, the Parrot era is next, or at least I'd hope so. But I don't know if I would have thought that, but I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I would have had that realization about where football was going and the tactics. I don't know if I would have had that realization if Mike Leach didn't die. So, because me coming up with swashbuckling football and like really parsing it out, because trust me, that last couple of weeks of the World Cup, Christmas, early 23, I absolutely dived into it. It's part of like my grief. When State lost Leach, Coach Leach, and college football did as well. I don't. When I dived into it, I was like, yeah, no, this could work. This could very much work. Would I have dived into it like that and thought that through if he didn't pass? Probably not. Probably not. Maybe my brain works the same way anyway, and maybe I'm overrating the fact that a mad genius passed, so it made me be a mad genius. I've always had that a similar streak of being a mad genius and doing things my own way. So maybe I would have thought it through anyway, but I like to be positive about the sad before I cry, you know? I like that there's if it was ever used, there's like a, hey, this one's for you type thing, you know? I don't know. Makes things feel better. I don't know. Header. Maybe I'm just, I don't know. There needs, in my opinion, there needs to be some absolute crank. In my opinion, my point is this. In sports, there needs to be an absolute crank nut job coaching who is different, but who wins. You know? There's no cranks left in any sport right now. Mike Leach is dead. He's been dead for a couple of years. There needs to be a crank, but it's always a different sport. There needs to be a crank nut job coaching somewhere, but it can't be college football. I'd prefer it to be association football. Because I'd like to be that crank oddest nut job coaching. Crank oddest loudmouth nut job coaching. That'd be fun. You know? That'd be, I think that's what needs it the most. Hell no. There's only one place I want to be. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. There's only one place I want to be in. And unless I get Craig James, I wouldn't be leaving. There's another piece of Mike Leach lore right there. Craig James. Craig James, look it up. CJK5H. Either way. Look it up. Look it up. Texas Tech, Craig James, Mike Leach. Look it up. Look it up. There's only one place I want to be. Unless I get the football association football version of Craig James, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. Ball crossed in. '84th minute. I'm good. I'm good. 84th minute. I think it's a good move. I think it's a good move. I agree. He's not getting fired. And besides, what crazy bastard would go to Atletico and turn them from a low block, stagnant, haram ball team to a high pressing team? What crazy bastard would do that? Goal by Defense Force. 3-0 for Defense Force. They finally get their goal. I'm not that crazy. I may be crazy, but I'm not that crazy. 3-0. 3-0. Defense Force. That is St. Hilaire scoring for Defense Force. What a run. 3-0. 3-0. That might just do it. But again, what crazy bastard? What crazy bastard would take the Atletico job and turn them into a high-pressing team from a low-block, park-the-bus, dirty team? What crazy bastard would do that? I'm not that crazy. Cathon St. Hilaire. Besides, I ain't that crazy. I may be crazy, but I ain't that crazy. Also, I see what makes me, well, I am crazy, but what makes me crazier is the passion. I have no passion for Atletico Madrid. Why the fuck? Passion's a good thing, a big thing for me. Passion is a big thing for me. I may be crazy, but my passion makes me crazier. But if I don't have passion for something, why the hell would I do it? I don't have passion. Why would I? Go find some other crazy bastard. I have no passion for them. They'll have passion for Chelsea, and I still wouldn't coach them because they'd shit on my accent. They don't deserve my genius. I don't care how much I win. They don't deserve my genius at all. You want to shit on my accent? You want to call me Ted Lasso? Call me a Yank? By the way, redneck or Canuck, don't call me a Yank because I'm not. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. By the way, you don't deserve my genius. You don't deserve my genius. I don't care how much I win. You don't deserve my genius. I may have passion for you, but I can't stand y'all. So I wouldn't get the respect I deserve. So no. And no, not enough passion for me to. I do like that Spain. I will say, though, I do like that Spain gave family pets the same rights as humans or something around the lines of that. I'm sure there's good farmland in Spain. I'm sure a certain somebody would be very happy living in Madrid on some farmland with dogs that have the same rights as humans. But I don't have enough passion to go fly halfway across the world for that club to go coach that club and also do a suicide mission trying to turn them into a high-pressing team from being a dirty, low-block, park-the-bus team. I'm not that crazy. I'm not that crazy. A certain somebody would love to live in Madrid, not me. I don't give a shit, frankly. Now, a certain somebody probably love to live in Madrid, but that ain't me. That ain't me. Go ask them. Go ask a certain somebody. They probably love the sunshine and all that. And I'm sure if there's some good farmland over there and all that. But I'm not that much of a nut job without passion, so. There's only one club that needs to call the Pirate. You know exactly what club that is. Do the right thing. Now, I don't know if that certain somebody would love that city, but tough shit. Tough shit, that's my club. Tough shit, that's my club that I need only. Well, there's only one person who could save that club. Tough shit. Tough shit. I'm sure a certain somebody probably prefer Madrid more, especially in the winters. But tough shit. Tough shit. Tough absolute shit. Tough shit. Besides, I mean, hey, you know, Don Garber. Fuck no. You couldn't pay me any money. There is no price that would make me coach that fucking club. I would, if you put a 100K coach Atletico in Montreal in front of me, I'd take Atletico any day. That's the only way I'd take Atletico. Put a freaking Montreal contract in front of me. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. No. Fuck that. Then I go Madrid. Then I go Madrid. You throw those two contracts in front of me, then I go Madrid. Yeah, sure. Or I'll just stay a talking head. But if I had to choose, yeah, no, I'd go Madrid for sure in that case. Fuck that 100K. You couldn't fucking pay me. 6 minutes of stoppage time. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to pop this. We got to move on to the next stream. So, yeah. With that being said, we'll leave it at that. You couldn't fucking pay me. There is no money there. I do not have a price. There is no amount of money you could pay me to want to coach Montreal. No fucking way. There is none. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Fuck no. No. There's nothing. I would not sell my soul for a. There is no dollar amount I would sell my soul for. Fucking zero. Zero. I have no price. I'm not the $1 million man. With that being said, it's time to flip to the next stream. If you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you in a couple of minutes for O&M versus Mount Pleasant. My bad, Mount Pleasant. Defense Force leads 3-0, and it's stoppage time. But we got to flip on to the next stream because Rumble takes a little bit. So with that being said, I'll see you in a couple of minutes. I'm Ryan, and I'm out. Peace. See ya. Sit tight. Flip on to the next stream. Sit tight. Peace.